you. Other than that, if you don't like what you said, if you want to start again, please do. Just be as comfortable as possible.
Okay.
This will be fun.
All right. Okay, so let's start.
Yeah, I was born in England in 1943, and my parents were both in the Army. We came to Canada in 1952. We came by boat, and I remember going down the St. Lawrence River and seeing like a cross lit on every hill. At least to me it seemed like there was. I wonder what kind of country my parents had brought me to. My dad got laid off at the Avro and Wednesday, and came home and told me that I had to have a job by Monday and I had a job on Friday. If I had to turn around and ask my dad or mom a question, I would think twice before I asked the question. I've asked a question once and I woke up from being unconscious. My dad he had a violent temper, and he sexually abused me from when I was 8 years old till I was 17. And he also beat me up, and he beat my brothers up, and you just didn't know what mood he was going to be in, so you'd have to be very careful what you said and how you said it. I got married when I was 18. When I was 24, I tried to commit suicide. It took me 5 years to get the energy, strength, whatever, to leave my first husband. In fact, I was told I would be killed. But I jumped out of a car on an ice storm night and slid down a hill and went to the nearest farmhouse. And that girl let me stay, and then I found out that my children were by themselves, and I went home and called my pastor over, and he agreed that I should get out of the marriage because I was being beat up again. And a friend took me in, and we slept on a car seat, and we had a hot plate for a stove, and my two children were 11 and 8. I had $8 in a bank account. And then you learn welfare, and welfare told me to get out of the house, and so then I had to get out of the house. And so then I was getting $200 a month from welfare, and I did housework on the side. And I would set goals, and I made commitments, and I said, we won't be in this situation long, then one day we will have a car, one day we will have a house and with a fireplace and a pool. You don't trust anybody. They say they love you, but did they really love you? All right? In fact, I did not really know what love was until maybe in my 40s. Then I met Brian on a blind date on September the 8th. Brian was very loyal, he was good, he was awesome with my kids. That was the number one thing. He had to be good with my kids. Brian and I were together 42 years. And he put up with all my crap. I met this nice couple. They were looking for a house for their parents, Brian and Glenda. Really funny, because Brian and I laughed about it. He turned around and said, "Lydia, how would you like to come to Northridge for Thanksgiving?" And I said, "Gee, Brian, I'd love to, but I think it's going to be a nice day. I'm going golfing." So I did go golfing. But the next Sunday, I said to my Brian, "I think I'm going to go to church this Sunday." I'm glad, I would say, in the last 15 years of the other people that I've met, because I had a whole lot of baggage. You think everything is okay, but it's not. Like, people will think, well, you're okay and stuff like this, but then you get me on a topic and a certain subject. Sometimes I would recluse, sometimes I would get angry. It's a hard thing to learn to trust people. Very, very, very hard. And I still sort of go through it now. And people come along beside me. And I would say they've held my hand and they've guided me. When you see that as a live church, it's not A church that I go to church on Sunday, they're doing things, and we're not stagnant. It's not just a church that goes on Sunday. It's home, it's family, it's there. I love it, and I don't want to ever be away from it. My father was domineering. He was right, and whatever, we were wrong. But the God that I love, He's there all the time. He doesn't change. He cares for me. In His own way, He tells me that He loves me, but He wants to be wanted. And we all got baggage. If you meet anybody, just bring them to me. Because life is wonderful, and life can be good, and we can do so much. Life is to live.